Hello, everybody! Welcome to a kind of late Sunday Funday. As I told y'all, we were probably not going to get around to a Sunday Funday, not just last week, but the week before due to too much shit going on because, as you can see, we got married. Now she can't leave me. Well, she can, but a little bit harder now.
No take backsies.
No gizzy backsies. Yeah, so we decided we're going to try and give you some kind of review soon. We have one for sure, which we're doing right now, and then might have a couple more in the pipeline, but they'll be done pretty much tomorrow. Just to give a little bit of a heads up, this is being done on Saturday, not on Sunday, and just because of what we're going to watch. And the movie, of course, that we're here to talk about is last week's big film that released, and that was, of course, The Beaches.
You wouldn't happen to be carrying around a mouse on your person, now would you?
A mouse?
Mm-hmm.
Why on earth would I be carrying around a mouse?
The remake of it, of course. And yes, that is the Dusty. He wants to give his opinion on things.
No.
So, I feel like I probably should start us off simply because I'm the one who has the most experience with the original and everything, but
I saw it as a kid. It's just
you just don't remember it a ton.
I remember the makeup. I remember it was particularly effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those who do not know, this technically is not just called The Witches. It's technically Roald Dahl's The Witches. I know I'm butchering his name. Sorry, I'm dumb, ignorant American. Can't even pronounce English people's names right. But this is based on a story of Roald Dahl's about a bunch of witches that they would. Pretty much their big goal was they wanted to turn all the children in the world into mice. Because they hate children and.
Makes them easier to squish them.
Mm-hmm. It's easier to get rid of them and everything.
Because they detest children. Matty poo to them.
Yeah.
Especially the cleaner they are. Like,
which is weird, never 100% explained, but technically a kid's movie. I will allow it a little bit more leeway than other films that doesn't need to explain certain aspects.
I would say kids movie can get away with more like fantastical type like kid type logic.
Yeah. So, to talk about the original real quick, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it actually really worked as a, for lack of a better way to put it, an actual kind of kids horror film. Not as much as, like, say, Scary Stories, Stone Dark, but when I talk about kids, I mean younger kids, like 7 or 8 or
Scare the ever-living bejeebus out of kids like, hoi.
Yeah. I think it has some good makeup throughout it. The acting is ho-hum at times. Some of it's a little over the top, but it's fine for what it is. It's a good movie to show your kids nowadays. It still actually holds up fairly well.
And Angelica Houston rocks it as the Grand High Witch. Or the Grand Witch, whatever.
Yeah, she has just the right amount of over the top, but also still, you can get why they're able to lure kids in.
Yeah, she's charming and kind of sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm talking on a whole, not just her role in The Witches. But she's so awesome at playing a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Or gothic goddess Morticia.
Yeah, and then we gotta talk about this remake.
Do we gotta?
Oh, okay. Number one, first thing. This movie takes something that we consistently are always complaining about. It takes quite a bit to start up. And we talk about, like, startup, like, realistically, the witches do not come up for nearly 20 minutes in the movie, I think. Maybe 15 if I decide to be a little charitable. But all this is about is the young character. I don't think they give him a name.
Yeah, I think in the caption he is called Hero or something.
Yeah, it's like Tenet. He's just the protagonist. But he,
Yeah, I think at least in the original they gave him a name.
yeah, I swear it was like Max, something like that.
Oh, it was like Tim or Timothy.
Yeah,
Timothy.
he has a name.
I
in
was
the
like,
original.
yeah, he had a name. I was like, just make shit up. Like, just give him a freaking name.
Yeah, Edward. Farthead. I don't care.
Dewey, who he was, Dewey. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, so I guess it's supposed to be something that's like, well, this makes it easier for you to be able to put yourself in this person's shoes. Me? But on top of everything, like, it takes quite a bit to finally actually get started because we have to show the fact that his parents died. It can't just be something that's said and, we get, signed or shown, like, yeah, he's sad because his parents are dead or they have gone or anything like that. We have to see him grow attached to his grandmother, which, cool. The original was able to do this without wasting our fucking time. This feels like it is just treading water for a good chunk, just trying to, oh, here, we need to see Octavia Spencer be legitimately kind of fun.
Yeah. She does well in this. I'll give her that.
Yeah. But you also have to put up with one of the most annoying aspects of the entire movie, and that's fucking Chris Rock. He narrates the whole goddamn movie.
And by the end, you see his face sort of imposed on a mouse.
Well, Megan spoiled the movie a bit.
Spoiler alert, he gets turned into a mouse and it's not reversible.
Sorry, our cat just did something. Heard it in the other room.
See, tearing shit up. Go see her in a minute.
When a wall collapses, we'll be alright. And so, yeah, it takes forever and a damn day to finally actually get moving. Because realistically, most of the original film took place within a hotel where ends up the kid is staying, tied from witches because they learn that witches are near his grandmother's house and they're trying to come after him because they hate kids.
Yeah. Yeah, just so much setup, like showing the car accident, showing him in the hospital. It's like, oh, where are my parents? Where are my mom and dad? And Octavia Spencer, oh, I'm sorry, they're not gonna be getting you. They're dead. And then him bonding with his grandmother and he's like, oh, she was a nice lady. She was stern, but she was a nice lady and good grandma and everything. It's like, okay, this is nice. And he's like so depressed and she keeps trying to cheer him up and then it's like, okay, so maybe here shortly they'll go to the hotel where they run to the witches, as a way of her trying to cheer him up. Like a little late vacation or something. But no, and then he then runs into a witch at the grocery store. And
Magic jump cut. Sorry, cat was being a child.
joys of being a pet parent.
Yeah, especially a kitten.
It's like I'm a little furry toddler.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's one thing to try and I get they're trying to add some kind of like, oh, well, here's some emotional weight, get you to care about, the kid and the grandmother. It's like, I care about already, and after a while, especially considering it's just inundated with fucking Chris Rock's narration, which is his worst thing. I gotta deal with him talking like this the whole time. It's like if Donkey was narrating Shrek, and instead of him just, being Shrek and just going along, we gotta deal with Donkey talking the whole time and giving away the whole fucking story. It gets so annoying so fast. I cannot begin to describe how much of Chris Rock's voice mugging, pretty much, I got tired of.
Yeah, it's a little bit like, well, show me, don't tell me. Although you did show me a lot, so it's like,
Why are you still telling me?
Yeah, it's like showing and telling. Kind of redundant and very tedious.
Yeah, and that's the beginning part of the movie. It's just you're feeling like, alright, come on, get fucking something.
Yeah, and Chris Rock just being Chris Rock and I think trying to be a little bit southern. I think that's what he was going for.
Yeah.
Because, the movie takes place in
It takes place in Alabama.
Yeah, in Alabama. Yeah, didn't the original take place in like England or something?
I believe so. Yeah, and so just to let you know, yeah, Chris Rock is playing things. Southern ain't one of them. He's from fucking New York.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was from like New York or Chicago, like somewhere up north.
Yeah, he's a Yankee.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it gets really annoying trying to sit there and put up with him, you know, talking on and on and on, and then it's like, we just go over and over and over about the fact that Chris Rock's parents are dead and Octavia Spencer's grandma's trying to take care of him. Gotta go back over that. Again, it's a regurgitation constantly of the same plot points. It's like, move the fuck along. I don't care anymore. And then finally we get introduced to the witches. Holy shit, is there some bad fucking CGI in this movie. Did they spend like $10 on the CGI? Somebody found something that rings.
Oh, we really should have picked that up.
Oh well. You get to put up with that in the background. Oh god, the CGI in this movie. Because the witches, of course, y'all have seen where they have these like cuts. Supposedly, it's like, oh well, they wear heavy makeup so that way you can't see it. It's like,
And yet you still see it.
yeah, it's
like
very visible on every single witch.
yeah, feeling their mouths open like really wide,
Like a snake.
Not quite like a snake, more like
What's how I describe it?
oh, like was it
It looks like the damn things off of Mrs. Peregrine. The big,
Yes.
tall, lanky Silent
yeah,
Hill
like
monsters.
the big monster that they have to deal with. Samuel Jackson.
I think they're called, no, Hollows is Bleach. I can't remember what the fuck they're called.
It's like something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Still just world domination for me. Whew, and a breath mint for you.
Mm-hmm.
Best thing about that movie.
But yeah, so they also, I guess they all have like these snake pets or something.
Yeah.
It's not really explained, and they're all CGI, and it always looks like crap whenever they're apparent. What's your jump cut?
Again.
Yeah, sorry. Cat likes getting in places he shouldn't be.
Again. Furry Tyler.
Yeah. He's disagreeing with us.
Perfect timing.
Oh.
But yeah, get back to the witches. The witches in the witches.
Yeah, this fucking CGI that they have to use. Alright, so again, to talk about the original, there's a lot of actual practical effects. Like, they make the witches very ugly, but it's very much practical. They still have their claws and all this other
And
stuff.
they're very, like, horrifying. It's like any child would say, this is nightmare fuel for them.
Mm-hmm. And here, they look like CGI monstrosities. And I don't mean like...
Not in a good way.
Yeah, it's like all Warner Brothers, you know, when they use the cheapest ass CGI that they can, like they do with the DC films or anything and close to a big budget. It's like, hey, let's use the $3 studio instead of the better one.
Yeah, instead they save the CGI budget for the end for this roller coaster thing that...
Yeah, it's the one thing in the CGI that looks decent. Everything else looks like garbage. Like the transformation sequences whenever they turn kids into mice looks bad. It looks half-assed half the time. Whenever they actually are turning some of the witches into rats, surprise, it happens at the end
Or
of the...
even this pet cat that Anne Hathaway has. Even that CGI...
And it's bad CGI. It looks as bad as the cat from Hocus Pocus. And that was from 1993, guys. At least they had the understanding. It's like, yeah, we had $4 to use for it. What's your excuse?
Everyone, excuse me. I'm gonna make myself a widow.
I can't help it. The CGI cat from Hocus Pocus looks bad. But at least they had the excuse also that was from fucking 93. See, he even agrees with me. I don't know why. He's got food, he's got water, he's got a clean litter box too. Oh.
I was say, he likes to announce when he's doing things like getting food or using the litter box, but it's like he's not doing either one of those things. It's like, what?
He's running this way he's doing.
Furry
I
elephant.
think he's wanting attention. That's our cat for you. A little attention whore. But we love him.
Yeah. Oh, he's so cute.
Now he's gonna get Megan's computer. Magic jump cut. Hey, furry toddler. Pretty much I can just put furry toddler for every single one. Yeah. Not only do they decide that they're going to not use any practical effects when it comes to the witch's transformation, like their mouths are, it's all just CGI.
For some reason, Anne Hathaway levitates.
Yeah, and
Like,
we eventually got to talk about Anne Hathaway. Magic jump cut. Megan's been having fun for the past 5 minutes or so.
trying to tame the furry toddler from, like,
Everything.
yes.
So, to talk about the CGI real quick, one, not only is it not good, it's straight up, it's just bad. But on top of everything, it's egregious. Like, there is a large amount of CGI here for reasons I cannot fathom. Like, they have a cat completely CGI'd. They could have used a real cat. It wouldn't have been that big of an issue or a problem. And the CGI for the cat looks fucking atrocious. It's worse than Hocus Pocus. And that came out 27 fucking years ago. Feel old yet? Oh god, it did. Or no, it did come out 27. Yeah, it did come out 27 years ago.
That's a 93.
Yep, 27 years. Then there is...
And there was no reason for them to use CGI for the damn witches for their appearance.
Yeah.
When the original had no problem using practical effects, practical makeup and prosthetics to make these witches look horrifying.
Yeah, and it accomplished it. Here, instead, they just look like this jumbled CGI goo factory all the time.
Yeah, they're going for a combination of, like I mentioned, the things from Miss Peregrine and the clown from It. The
Pennywise.
drawing a blank on that fucker's name.
Call Biden or Joe Biden. I mean, snort.
I don't know why that broke me so much. It's just, oh my goodness. Oh.
I win. But yeah, and I will say, like, this for the most part, it pretty much follows beat for beat the original movie. There's not a huge amount of deviations.
Instead of the grandmother being like a white witch, I think.
It's just she's kind of into voodoo.
I'm gonna say she's kind of like this voodoo priestess sort of. Just...
Yeah, and even then, it's not really said that she knows about voodoo. Not really like she is,
Well, she's got this room. She doesn't go in there a whole lot to like practice voodoo.
Yeah.
And she knows all these different like herbs and healing stuff and.
Would you call it herbs?
Herbs.
Let's say.
Bye!
Let's say it is pronounced herbs. Unless you're talking about a guy, then his name is Herb. Call him Herbs. There's something wrong with him.
Bye. Smells like herb lore and like healing and mumbo jumbo and.
So, we do need to talk about another huge fucking issue with this movie, and that is the what the fuck with the acting in terms of a lot of things. Like, Stanley Tucci's in it for maybe 5 minutes, he's fine.
He's kind of wasted in this movie.
Yeah. Octavia Spencer, she's fine. She does what she's supposed to do.
Anne Hathaway, I know she can do better. She's just hamming it up.
She is beyond hamming it up. She's supposed to be from Norway, mind you. I cannot tell you what accent she's going for because she slips through about 18 of them.
Like Scandinavian/German. There's Squish.
Yeah, like one time she,
point.
it'll get thee in me. It's like a very, it's not quite Scottish, but, I feel like it's, I'm Scottish. I felt like that, and I was like, good God, like, what the fuck is this accent you're going for? Because it don't work. There is obviously Cockney she kind of slips into every now and then.
I think at one point, like, she sounded a little bit like French.
Well, to be fair, that was what she tried to sound like in Les Mis.
No, I think she just used like an English accent or an American accent.
Well,
Even though everyone, the damn movie is,
French.
yeah, it's supposed to be French, but everyone's using like American and French or English accents.
Except for Russell Crowe. Not getting into Russell Crowe and Les Mis.
Ugh.
I don't know what the fuck that was. No. It is so damn funny. Like somebody who doesn't really care for musicals but really likes music, Russell Crowe's performance in Les Mis is the funniest damn thing ever. And his death is the funniest death I've ever seen.
Yeah, especially when you hear like the original like Broadway or West End versions of was one song he sings "Stars." It's like it's just so much more powerful. Like when these other actors sing it, and then Russell Crowe's like just kind of like monitor, like almost mumbling the lyrics to the songs, like the fuck. But getting back to Anne Hathaway here,
fucking Anne Hathaway constantly is so over the fucking top, and I don't mind a good over the top. Fuck, I like Jeremy Irons over the top. Yes. Or even you can almost tolerate Bette Midler completely mugging the entire time during Hocus Pocus, or Sarah Jessica Parker, or the fat one in that movie. Can't remember her name.
Kathy and Jimmy.
Fat one, got it. I'm a fat guy. I'm allowed to make fun of fat people. It's in our blood.
You're not fat. You're a little fluffy.
I'm a lot fat. It kind of hurt. But yeah, just like all their mugging, their terrible things. That is exactly what Anne Hathaway's doing, but it's just doesn't fit because the rest of the movie is trying to be semi-serious because it is a darker kind of tone of a film. But her mugging, her over-the-topness, it's what it really distracts throughout the film whenever she's just over the top. And it's like, why the fuck did y'all let her do this? Is she drunk? It's like, did y'all just booze her up and be like, hey, Ann, go on and say, alrighty, going to figure out what accent I'm going to do today. It's like, the shit is wrong with her.
Yeah, that accent just wandered all over the map. Just, it's like,
Honestly, if she was drunk as fuck, it would not surprise me. Because I don't know what the accents she kind of slips into. It's like one time, like in an entire, 3 sentences, she went into 3 different accents. And I know
it's like Anne Hathaway. It's called a dialect coach.
Or if, hey, I can't really perform a Norwegian accent, rewrite a little bit of that character and let it fit Anne Hathaway's, what accent she is able to do. Or don't do a fucking accent. It's fine without one. And, I'm not going to be sad.
Say that she's from Norway, but how are we doing an American accent? I mean, it's a little bit like, okay, and she's supposed to be from Norway, but it's still not quite as weird as an accent that wanders all over the map from Scandinavia to Scotland to France to England and all the other damn countries in between. Like,
hell, she's almost like, oh, what's her name from freaking Austin Powers? Frau?
Oh, yeah, there were a number of times I was like, I thought I was listening to like Minnie Sterling in Austin Powers.
I got the thought!
Yeah, it's like, it's so excited to hear, like...
But again, that's like a parody. That's meant to be making fun of it. That's why you're able to kind of laugh at her almost accent there, It's almost like you expect her to start doing Hitler salutes. But, here it's like, what the fuck is she trying for? And also, I gotta talk about the main kid. He's not bad, but he is a child actor totally for a movie that is a small budget film. Like, you expect this to be a kid that was in a 90s Disney film. It's like, oh, here, we had at $15 to hire the child actor. Let's have them come on screen. He's fine, but you are gonna get annoyed with him after because he still is a little too wooden for his own good.
I say there are worse child actors, but they're better.
There are far many better. Hell, there technically is a worse child actor in this film.
Talking about the...
Augustus Gloop in this fucking
I was
thing.
gonna say the fat kid also gets turned to a mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, mouse.
Which his entire shtick is, I'm fat and I like food.
Mm-hmm. He gets him caught trying to go after some cheese on a mouse trap.
Yeah, and it's like, well, why? And then you also have, oh, what's her name? Kristen
Chenoweth.
Yeah, she does a mouse, and she's doing a sort of southern accent. It's better than whatever the fuck Chris Rock's trying.
Yeah.
But that's not saying a ton. It's very much, I don't want your life levels of southern accents. It's like, that's not quite a southern accent there, lady. Well, of course, James Van Der Beek is trying to do something else, and I heard a nerd cat.
Uh-huh.
But that sounded like it was outside. We have a nerd cat that's also in the neighborhood who likes to mess with us.
Let's just come in, like, this is her house.
Oh,
like,
dude.
no. Thank you. Can you finally settle down?
Yeah, this movie's really bad, and it really doesn't help that because of its unnecessary trying to pad out the beginning. So you need to get these characters' emotions. I got their emotions. I got it. And this kid's not that great of an actor. Octavia Spencer's having to carry the things she can't. None against Octavia Spencer. Just she's not given any material to be able to carry it with.
I think she's a fine actress. Just
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't really care that much about the relationship between these two. It's like just skip to where they meet the witches.
Yeah. And it's just it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way to describe it. It's just this is a really terrible film. And the bad thing is this is Robert Zemeckis. I get it. Robert Zemeckis is still not 100% used to going back to actually directing live people, and since he did CGI movies for about a decade. But this, not only you got bad CGI, you have a story that feels bloated, strangely enough.
I say this movie just has none of the charm of the original.
Yeah. And that's the worst thing, is like, realistically, I don't know why you had to remake this. It doesn't add anything. Like, the big thing, in fact, during this film, it's not set during the modern time. Which, if I'm not mistaken, the original film was. This is set in the 60s for some reason.
Yeah, so we can flash forward to, what, the 70s or 80s?
It's like the early 80s.
When they're training kids, while he's still a mouse, training kids to identify and...
Kill witches.
Yeah.
And... why?
Forming a little cult.
Yeah. We are forming a kid cult. Yeah. Get Jeffrey Epstein online. It's...
Okay, you were really freaking adorable now.
He's cleaning his balls now. This movie's bad, y'all. Like, I think originally they might have tried to release this in theaters, and this would have been a massive bomb, because obviously they tried to spend money on this, because they have a lot of named actors. There's a lot of CGI used. Even if it's bad, it still costs a fair amount of money just to use shitty CGI.
Mm-hmm. And there's quite a bit of CGI just falling around these mice. These CGI mice.
Yeah.
But no, we blow the budget on a freaking roller coaster thing for these...
That is all of 2 minutes in the film. And even then it's at the very end, because they're originally... Hero is his fucking name. he's trying to teach his original mouse, Diana, I believe is her name. It turns out she was able to talk, and it's like, okay, why'd you talk before? Well, people freak out when a mouse talks. Nope, not getting into it. It's like, could talk to the kids. Trust me, kids tend to accept that shit a little bit easier.
But
But yeah, it just kind of shows at the end like this little like roller coaster thing, and it's like, okay, well this actually looks really good. Like the CGI is very good on here. It's like, this is where you blew your fucking budget on this piece of shit. Oh
yeah, she still they still grant witches money that she was going to give all these other witches to start up candy shops, to poison all these children and turn them into mice and everything. And they like took her money, which, okay, and yeah, that's how they paid for like this roller coaster in the house, a little roller coaster for the mice. It's like, really?
Oh, we also haven't touched on the other thing that I can use to say, yeah, this was probably supposed to come out in theaters.
The hands.
There is a lot of stuff purposely coming at the screen, and it's like, okay, this is obviously meant to be in 3D. Even though 3D is a dead fucking gimmick. Nobody fucking does 3D anymore. This was obviously supposed to have been in 3D, so that way you can have hands coming at you. Because it does it not just once, not just twice, but there's a number of times they do it. And not only that, but I'm pretty sure the little roller coaster sequence, I'm pretty sure that was all going to be like a lot of CGI you're going to see. Like there's you've seen probably a trailer where a kid goes flying screen. He gets really freaking close. It's like, why is this the shot they decided to go with? I'm like, oh, probably because it's meant to be in 3D. Like, I actually almost wouldn't be surprised if this is a movie that's been sitting on shelves for a few years. And they're just like, well, fuck it. Nobody wants to see this utter train. Like, let's just go ahead and shove this bitch out here.
Yeah, but not for COVID. They would have released it in theaters.
Yeah. I don't know. Or whenever or Warner Bros. Finally launched their own web service, or streaming service. So... Oh, sorry. If y'all keep hearing me sniffling and all that, I'm getting over a bit of sinus issues. Because I'm thankfully over for the most part.
Yay, allergies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, my wife, what would you give this thing as a final score?
Okay. I know I'm being generous. But I don't believe, I believe that, Octavia Spencer and Stanley Tucci, especially Octavia Spencer, they were not that bad. They were just, their talents were totally wasted in this movie. And Anne Hathaway, she's a good actress, she's just really over the top. It's like, really? Why? You're better than this. But
I don't know. She was in that one piece of shit with Rebel Wilson, so.
We do not speak as things.
Also, she was in Ocean's 8.
I can't really judge that. I've never seen it. Never seen it.
It's a piss poor remake of the original.
I've never seen Ocean's 11 or anything. But I am going to give this movie a 2. Again, being generous, I know.
I'm not sure how much this is going to make my worst of the end of the year list and everything. It's going to be a 1 still, just because of how bad this actually ended up being. Because despite Octavia Spencer giving a decent performance, there is so much bad that it just completely outweighs any that she's done. Like, you have just god awful fucking CGI throughout 95% of this film. You have egregious use of CGI, which annoys the fuck out of me there. And then on top of all of it, the shit cherry on the shit sundae that you're eating, you just have a story that drags its heels about trying to move forward. And because it takes so long for the beginning to actually start, the first act feels really fucking slow. Then the last act feels way too fucking rushed. Like, I don't know much about Augustus Gloop except for he's Augustus fucking Gloop. I don't know anything about fucking Daisy, just beyond the fact she's by Southern and does a terrible Southern accent. I can't tell you shit else about this film, except for it takes way too goddamn long for us to finally get some fucking witches. Ugh.
There will be no coin tossing to these witches.
Oh. Toss a Molotov cocktail at their asses. Oh. So, that's witches. Fuck that movie.
Yeah. Miss it.
Yeah. Miss it like the fucking plague. Though, speaking of witches, we are going to have to eventually delve into something I don't particularly look forward into delving into. Quick explanation of the next movie and next review we're going to talk about. You might have heard of a little film called The Craft. It sucked. Those who have ever wanted to know about seeing The Craft, don't. Watch.
I didn't think it was that bad, personally.
That's because, to be honest, I think it's more geared towards females. Not that that means that it can't be geared toward, or guys can't like it, but I think because of the fact that it was a bit geared towards women, and I don't give two flying fucks about half of their dumb bullshit that they cared about. You know, I can't say it's the worst film about witches that I've ever seen. Obviously. Why is it bad that that is an actual outlier? That's not the worst movie I've ever seen that involves a witch or is about witches. Of course, I just thought about it while I just distracted myself. We have watched 2 fucking terrible films involving witches this year. Gretel and Hansel and this fucking film. I was like, oh god. And we're gonna make it.
Don't remind me that came out this year. Wait, did it come out this year?
Yeah, it came out in January. It broke our streak of really good movies. In fact, I think it caused COVID. Because it was funny. After that, every movie was pretty bad for a bit there. Well, there was like one good movie I liked in the middle of February. Fuck me if I can remember what it was.
That movie was so freaking, like... Don't even get me started on it. Just go back and watch our review of it if you want my feelings on it.
Yeah, but we need to talk about the Craft sequel reboot.
Craft Legacy or something.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about macaroni and cheese here tomorrow because we're going to try and watch that tonight. If you see my feet in the next shot, you'll know it was bad. Oh, but until then, Dusty says goodnight and we'll say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.